There is a word in the Hebrew that we actually had to make up a word to try to best describe exactly what it meant. Welcome to Walking Through the Word for today, and we're in Ruth chapter 2, and we're about to, in this section, hit two major points that really reflect God. Now, if you read the book of Ruth, you'll see the name of God mentioned, but as we talked about before, remember, this is during the time of Judges, so God is not exactly prevalent in the lives of the people of Israel, except when it is a time of difficulty, which kind of reflects us, let's be honest. We oftentimes don't talk to God until we really need to talk to God. Yet these characters in here, Ruth specifically, is meant to point us towards God. And one of those words that we see is talked about in Ruth chapter 2, verses 11 and 12. This is what we talked about yesterday. We talked about Ruth's reputation yesterday, but today let's talk about God's reputation. You see, one of the words that is used in here that we see in the original Hebrew translation is the word chesed. Okay, H-E-S-E-D. Sometimes you'll see it as C-H-E-S-E-D, chesed. We sometimes translate that to loyal love, but you might have actually heard it mentioned as loving kindness. See, this is God's character towards us, that regardless of our abandonment, much like the people of Israel have abandoned God all throughout the time of the Judges, God continues to remain loyal in his love and in his kindness towards his people. Ruth reflects this. Ruth is being loyal to Naomi, Mara, in ways that Mara can't necessarily come back towards. She continues to be loyal to this, and it is seen by others. Boaz sees this loving kindness, and that's what he talks about. It says, "It's been reported to me. I've been told all about what you've done for your mother-in-law, how you left your father and mother in your homeland and came to live with a people you did not know before." This in of itself is the definition of loving kindness, loyal love. Ruth's demonstration of it. If you want to know what God's loving kindness looks like, this is it. That even when everyone else abandons, God does not. Even when everyone else would leave us, God does not. The weak and the oppressed, Ruth and Naomi, God does not abandon. And so when Boaz invokes the name of God, "May you be richly rewarded by the Lord," your translation might have the Lord in all caps. This is, we know, means Yahweh, okay, God with us. "I am who I am, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge." We recognize that this is who God is. Boaz is purposefully making us understand who God is. And Boaz knows who God is. Even in this time of uncertainty, in this time of judgment, Boaz still recognizes who God is and what God does for his people. And Boaz has remained with this. And as a result of that, Boaz rewards her. And so he talks about it. And as a matter of fact, in verse 16, he says, "Even pull out some stalks for her from the bundles and leave them more." In other words, hey, she's been so loyal to Naomi. Let's just bless her even more, and let's do this. And so we see the idea of chesed, loving kindness, who God is in both Boaz and in Ruth. And tomorrow, as we look at the next character of God, we're going to see this chesed carry out even stronger and even more powerfully when we start talking about the concept of the kinsman redeemer. But for now, I want you to walk away from today recognizing the loving kindness that God has in your own life. How even when you make choices that go against what God's desire is for us, he continues to love us. Sometimes it's in loving correction. Other times it's in loving prompts. Other times it's just simply in his grace. But we have a God whose loving kindness never ceases, no matter how far away his children stray. That's the point of the 99 that Jesus talks about when he says that the shepherd will go and find the one. When his children, those who call him the Messiah, the Christ, stray, Christ continues to seek them. He never lets them go. His loyal love remains. Let's bask in that today, and we walk in his word.